Okay, revising once again. Yesterday we did this part, taking you to the first page. The president is the executive head. Sorry, the president has the executive power and is the nominal head. Executive power means he will sign on every document of the country government. Nominal means naam ka. He will only work in the name of. Perfect. He has to compulsory function on the advice of the PM and Council of Ministers. Hence, Council of Ministers and PM are the real executive heads. They take the real decisions and the president has to follow. I've given you some extreme examples. ऐसा होता नहीं है, बस example दे रहा हूँ. President को if they say sit, he will sit. If they say president stand, president will. ऐसा नहीं होता. Just to make you give you an understanding that whatever happens, whatever function happens, the president will have to work on the advice of the prime minister and council of the. Powers, diplomatic powers, all diplomatic powers are done by the president, but on the advice of the PM and all military powers, as mentioned here, are done by the PM, sorry, are done by the president, but on the advice of the PM and Supreme Commander of Armed Forces, president, but works on the advice of the PM and council. Judicial powers, everything, but on the advice of the PM and council. Financial powers, money bill, financial statements, finance budgets, all by the president on advice of the PM and council. Executive powers, union territories, control over states, appointment of officials, all by the president on advice of the PM. Legislative powers, summoning of the houses, dissolving of the Lok Sabha, messages in the parliament, addressing the sessions, assent to bills, everything by the president on advice of the prime minister and council. Fantastic. Including the ordinances and so on. Perfect. Now that's what I was waiting. Why did I give you such an highlight? To ask, फिर president करता क्या? Why does the president there only if he is doing everything on PM and council ka advice? Why is the PM there? Why is the president there if he is working on the advice of the PM and council? So here we mark the most short answer of the chapter. This is the first time the president says, I will not take advice from the PM and council. I will work as per my discretion. Please mark short, very important. I will work as per my discretion. In certain scenarios, the President of India functions without the advice of the PM and Council. Now, ऐसी situation, these are very unique situations. They are very extreme situations. But nonetheless, इसका भी procedure लिखा हुआ. First one, the Council of Ministers has lost the confidence but refuses to resign. So the president bolega, you are refusing to resign, but I have the power to dismiss you. Underline that and write no confidence motion. Which chapter? Chapter from Parliament. No confidence motion. Lok Sabha. If the Lok Sabha passes the no confidence, but the government बोलता है मैं किधर नहीं जा रहा हूँ. No confidence has been passed. The government has to resign, but the government says I am not going anywhere. President बोलेगा here I am more superior because the no confidence is passed. I have the right to remove you. Up till all this time, I was working on your advice. Now I work on my own advice because the no confidence motion ka rule tells me that if you don't resign, I have to remove you. Doubt? Bolo, anybody has a doubt? Going ahead, this is a continuation of point number 1 to 2. When the ruling party has lost its confidence, that is, vote of no confidence may have been passed, and it recommends to the president to dissolve the Lok Sabha. Technically, no confidence gets passed. Technically, no confidence gets passed. Government has dissolved the president has dissolved the Lok Sabha. The president has dissolved the government. Now he is going to order fresh elections. Now he is going to order. But, यहाँ से bracket open करो. Then it is at the discretion of the president either to dissolve the house and नीचे लिखो and order fresh elections, as you can see. Either to dissolve the house and order fresh elections. So the president has the power to dissolve the house and order fresh elections as per the procedure. Fresh elections होएगा, so people will start standing up and doing what? Campaigning. वापस पैसे के लिए campaigning जाएगा, time जाएगा. Last year you studied election chapter. Regional election commissioners will be appointed. The election commission comes into play. Dates are decided. पैसा लगता है, effort लगता है, time लगता है. So the president says, see, I understand math. Math students, right? I understand math. Anybody non-math student? I'm sorry, but I understand math. Well, if I dissolve this government, if there are A, B, and C parties, if there are A, B, and C parties, if A was the government, A got dissolved, and C is too small to win elections, तो कौन आएगा? B आएगा. So why should we order fresh elections? Why should we waste the country's time, effort, money, and expense? मतलब directly B को बना सकते हैं without making direct elections, without making people vote. The president will tell what? Please mark this. The president asks the another party. The president asks the another party to prove its majority on the floor of the house. Well, see, A cannot prove its majority because A is outgoing. In case online it broke, I will repeat. President said A cannot prove majority because A is outgoing. C, if you can beat B, fantastic. B is too big for you to beat. मुझे पता है, तुझे पता है, सबको पता है. So why should we order fresh elections for B and C to fight? Rather B, can you prove your majority? What is your majority? You understand math. 550 members. Minus the outgoing members, जो government गया. Remaining, how many other seats you can capture? If you capture the majority, you are the government, straightforward. Here, the president works into discretion. But here it has to be a clear understanding. President understands that C cannot win by against B, and A is no more capable of winning. So that's when this happens. Confirm. So first two are in coordination or in connection with each other. Third one, in case of sudden death, just like the assassination of Mrs. Indira Gandhi, our former PM. कितना चाहिए 5 मिनट रुक जाओ. It is the duty of the president to appoint a new PM if the ruling party is unable to meet immediately to elect a leader. जैसे मिसेस इंदिरा गांधी के टाइम पे obviously entire nation was mourning, entire nation was sad because the PM had got assassinated. At that time, if the ruling party cannot decide a PM, the president decides a PM. But in all these cases, number 1, number 2, and number 3, these are, please write there as mentioned. The third one, right there, it is only on paper. The third discretionary power is only available on paper. ऐसा होता है क्या? President will decide the PM of the country. नहीं. The party inside already decides कि अगर A नहीं है तो B नहीं है तो C. जैसे हमारे current situation में also Modi ji is there. After Modi ji, who will become? They know. Maybe not. That you may think. Someone else thinks that Home Minister, that is Amit Shah, maybe. But inside they have decided A, B, C. In case something goes wrong, they have all planned and coordinated. So the third point is only on paper, it's not reality. Yes. Yes, yes.
How were they able to beat the prime minister quickly? Because at that time the riots were also going on, right? Because of the
so but under you have to have a backup plan. अरे ईरान के पास बैकअप प्लान है, इंडिया के पास तो 100% ही होगा ना.
सर मैं वो
नहीं फिर भी ऐसा बैकअप प्लान तो रहता ही है ना. हो गया. Our kings used to have a backup plan. England has a backup plan. England का hierarchy monarchy system is ready. In case 1 गया, 2 गया, 3 गया, 25. They release ना. It's available on for England also if you go and see. The क्या बोलते हैं? People who are in order of the throne. कोई लोग तो कोई लोग तो 25 नंबर पे बैठे हैं. और तो क्या 50 लोग को तो नहीं मारा. सब लोग लाइन में रेडी है. There is an hung parliament. Please mark hung parliament. Hung means basically like this. This is how a hung parliament looks. This is the bean balance. Sorry. Bean balance देखा है? Beam balance.
Yeah.
Now what is this beam balance? This is nothing but a hung parliament. Where in order to maintain the balance of the parliament, you don't have one political party, you have 2 or 3 political parties maintaining the balance of the government. Such political parties or such governments are very, very dangerous. In case the balance breaks, the government breaks. Your appointment of PM in case no single party wins with a clear majority, then the Lok Sabha members have to do a coalition like this. अगर A नहीं जीता तो A plus B together will form the government. Then the president says, I use my discretion to appoint the new PM. But ऐसा नहीं होता है. A and B में से whichever is the bigger party, उसका by default PM आता है. This is also hence right only on paper. This discretion power is also only on paper. because the new PM cannot be appointed on the advice of the outgoing PM who has lost support. ये सिर्फ पेपर पे पॉइंट है. In reality, A, B understand each other inside. कि A is bigger, so A will take the PM का post. The bigger party always gets the bigger posts. And this is repeated. कि ये टेक्स्ट बुक में ये वाले सिचुएशन में नहीं है. So use it only as a backup point as mentioned here. But it is a discretionary power as per syllabus. The president is not answerable to any court for his decisions. And the president also has the power to call for a summon the houses of the parliament if the gap between two parliament sessions is going to exceed more than 6 months. अगर उसको कोई भी नहीं बोलेगा कि we are going to do a meeting and he says that it's going to cross 6 months, he can automatically call for a meeting. Whether the speaker likes it, whether the chairman likes it or not, whether the PM likes it or not, he will call for a session. तो बड़ा कंट्री है. अरे इधर दोस्तों में रोज टॉपिक होता है, गवर्नमेंट में तो एवरीडे देयर इज every. So if you know, when I teach you Prime Minister chapter, I'll teach you that, I'll give you information. But as he asked, if I'm not wrong, every Wednesday evening or every Thursday evening, there is a PM and the cabinet meeting with Senate. Not the Lok Sabha. PM and his cabinet. That is PM and his khas ministers who hold a portfolio. They meet on every Wednesday or, so I forgot that date, the day. It is every compulsory weekly meeting they meet to discuss the policies and programs of the government. They are only the core group of the PM. Okay, what should we do? How these things should look, and so on and so forth. Last power, emergencies. Now, when the country goes under emergency, there are 3 types of emergencies. Please mark the meaning of an emergency first. A sudden, unforeseen situation demanding immediate action, like war, pandemics. But understand, the government nowadays, the modern trend is what? Nowadays, the modern trend is that the government does not declare emergency. Emergency declare karega, that means now the modern trend is that agar emergency declare karega, that means the situation is little serious and out of control. Government bolta hai, now I am Superman. I am social media wala government. For me, no situation is out of control. So when India fought with Pakistan under Operation Sindhu, government ne bola, we are not declaring emergency, sorry. We are social media wala government, we are all under control. When pandemic came, he announced lockdown, but no emergency was declared. Why? Because the government says the situation is under control. If I tell you the situation is not under control, you will start to panic. War currently gone, Middle East. Government ने क्या बोला? गैस का प्राइस बढ़ेगा. I will not increase petrol price. Because for common man, गैस का प्राइस बढ़ेगा चलेगा, पेट्रोल प्राइस बढ़ेगा नहीं चलेगा. Although both are the same, गैस भी तो उतना यूज करता है जितना तो पेट्रोल यूज करता है. So government ने बोला, I'm modern government. In order to keep you calm, I'll not feed you like this. I'll feed you. Expense तो बढ़ा रहा है तुम्हारा, but they are not increasing through petrol. They are going to increase through gas. Because the petrol price is basically क्या बोलते हैं? Threshold or a way of saying कि हाँ अभी कुछ गड़बड़ लग रहा. Common man India में always the thought was petrol price बढ़ा मतलब कुछ गड़बड़. So government ने बोला ये न्यू जनरेशन है पर पुराना जनरेशन भी है. पुराना जनरेशन को उसको भी पूछा पेट्रोल प्राइस बढ़ा मतलब गड़बड़. गवर्नमेंट ने बोला मैं थोड़ा स्मार्ट हूँ, पेट्रोल बढ़ाऊंगा या नहीं, आई विल इंक्रीज एलपीजी. both are the same source, both are the same almost same conditions, but government ने बोला पेट्रोल नहीं बढ़ाऊंगा, I'll take a little hit on petrol. So government is at the moment making less money on petrol, but we are okay with. बोला LPG बढ़ाओ, गैस बढ़ाओ, पेट्रोल मत. But common man, अनाड़ी लोग तो नहीं समझ रहा, uneducated not. That's why everything is calm. Did anybody question LPG price going up? No. पेट्रोल प्राइस जैसे 2 रुपया भी बढ़ेगा ना, यू विल सी लाइंस ऑन पेट्रोल पंप इंक्रीज. सबको 2 रुपया बचाने का पेट्रोल पंप. हाँ पेट्रोल करो, पेट्रोल करो. But understand, government understands all this. Same way nowadays the government doesn't announce emergency. In the war also, nowadays the new method is not to declare war. War is forever ongoing. Be ready. Earlier times क्या होता था, kings and all, 9th grade you studied, we used to officially declare a war. When you study under emergency also, when war was there with India, Pakistan, we used to declare war. Operation Sindoor, India didn't declare anything. बोला you have to be ready for state of war. Everything is love and fair and war. Well, now we don't have to declare only. Now the new trend is not to declare. Assume yourself. US attacked Iran, Iran attacked Israel, Iran attacked Dubai. Dubai ने बोला मैंने क्या किया? बोला you have to be ready. Sorry. Yeah, you have to be ready for everything. Let's see the meaning of emergency. First type of emergency is national. National emergency is a situation, please mark the 3 words, where there is a foreign aggression, danger to peace, security, because of 3 reasons: civil war, insurgencies, or such a case. Insurgencies matlab someone is coming into your country, just like Israel enters Iran or US entering Iran. आजकल ऐसा एंटरिंग नहीं होता है. आजकल it's unlike olden days. You don't insert. Insurgency doesn't happen through physical or people. It happens through drones and all. When you must have kept reading the news, these many drones were shot down. Now modern warfare. You don't have to send people. You have to send drones. We'll come to that. Okay, we'll come to that. Please, after meaning, always learn circumstance immediately, because meaning and circumstance go hand in hand. Meaning and circumstance go hand in hand. Duration we have, but meaning and circumstance are a similar thing. If the president is satisfied that there exists a grave scenario for emergency where the security of India or parts of India or territories of India are threatened, pura country is threatened or parts are threatened, then you have to either by war, external aggression, rebellion, then he may proclaim an emergency. If the president is convinced or satisfied. But the rule says what? The rule says the president cannot declare any emergency unless he gets it in writing from the cabinet. Please mark that point in writing. Unless he gets it writing from the cabinet. Why? Is because there is a history behind this. Is when Indira Gandhi declared emergency in India. This was the Indira Gandhi ka emergency. Yes, Indira Gandhi ka emergency. 75 emergency declared. And here, if you see the news, they had said, look here you can see people today also call 75. People today also call 1975 the darkest phase of Indian democracy. उस टाइम पे आज भी बोला जाता है डेमोक्रेसी का दे हैड मेड अ लाफ, क्या बोलते हैं, mockery of democracy. There a black spot on democracy since 50 years. That is today. ऐसा बोला जाता है. Why? Is because At that time in 1975, this rule was not there of taking emergency in writing. The rule was not there of taking emergency in writing. President had to declare emergency even if he got an oral advice. So in 1975, when President, that's what they say if I'm not wrong, Indira Gandhi at 6 o'clock in the morning went to President's house. The President got up, declared emergency, signed the papers. From there, she took the papers directly to All India Radio and announced emergency on All India Radio. The president said, the president said, please confirm. This is basically where we said, hence writing was important because इसके बाद rule बन गया कि now we need emergency and we were under emergency for, if you see a little here, we were under emergency for 21 months. Some people do say it was not necessary. नहीं कारगिल इसके पहले नेशनल इसके पहले था मतलब नहीं वो इंडो पाक वॉर एंड देन साइनो इंडिया वॉर was where we had declared emergency. साइनो मतलब चाइना. हाँ उसके बाद कारगिल के टाइम पे इमरजेंसी नहीं. These were the three emergencies 62, 71 and 75. 75 के बाद obviously luckily कुछ आया नहीं है और at that time थोड़ा ये गड़बड़ हो गया. Examples here you can see first time India had declared emergency in 62 when there was Chinese war and aggression. And first, this emergency was proclaimed for the first time and continued till 68. 6 saal. Examples you don't have to learn this just for your information. Examples you don't have to learn this just for your information. Next one, financial emergency. Please come to meaning first. Financial emergency is when there is a setback to the credit feasibility of the country likely to occur or has occurred. Country में पैसा नहीं है. Country में पैसा is not there. Duration I'll do last May with effects. Circumstance, please mark if the president is satisfied, whereby a situation says that our financial emergency, financial stability has been threatened. He can declare financial emergency. Example, financial emergency has never been declared since the promulgation of the constitution. एक emergency आज तक कभी आया नहीं. State emergency, I told you before also, this is called as constitutional breakdown of machinery. Machinery means system. Constitutional breakdown of machinery. Machinery means system. In other words, please write, it is called as state emergency. This occurs in a state, in a particular state. Maharashtra, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, any particular state. That the system has broken down or there is a deadlock because of political uncertainties or otherwise. There is a political deadlock because of uncertainties or otherwise. Circumstances. If the president, on receipt from a report from the governor, please mark, from the governor, is satisfied that there should be, that the governance of that state should be carried on as per the constitution, he may declare, once again, if the president on receipt of a report from the governor or the otherwise is satisfied that the governance of the state cannot be carried on in as per the provisions of the constitution, then he says you should declare an emergency. ऐसा कुछ हो रहा है which is unconstitutional. I repeat once again, ऐसा कुछ हो रहा है which is unconstitutional, cannot be carried as per the provisions of the constitution. It can be a rights or it can be a simple political split. जैसे महाराष्ट्र में हुआ, महाराष्ट्र में political split हुआ ना, that is Shiv Sena split. Yes, the fractions of Shiv Sena split. At that time, it resulted in emergency because things were not looking as per the constitution. It was a peaceful split. ऐसा नहीं कि there was some riot broke out in Maharashtra. But at that time, because things were not as per the constitution, then you have to declare emergency. It is also called as president's rule. What is it called as? President's rule. But bracket मैंने क्या लिखा है? On advice of Council of Ministers. ऐसा नहीं है president will do whatever he likes. He will continue to take advice from Council of Ministers. So just I'll give you an example. When the central government wanted to remove Article 370 from Kashmir, if I'm not wrong, they declared emergency there. Why? Because the power comes under the hands of the president. That is in reality the prime minister and council. So कोई opposition कोई कर ही नहीं सकता है. So it was a tactical move. बहुत अच्छा movie भी है. They show you how he did this based on that. This is called as president rule because the president may assume full powers to himself, including the budget and everything of the state. Examples president's rule तो बहुत आते जाते हैं. Very too many president's rule come and go. 2013 का one example is there when BJP ruling coalition partner JMM withdrew their support, pushing the ministry or pushing the government into minority. Arjun Munda, CM, had to resign from the state legislature. Happened in Maharashtra also, where our Uddhav Thackeray ji had to resign from CM post because coalition broke, party split, whatever will be the reason, majority becomes minority, so you have to leave the government. These are all examples of, once again, which was called as hung parliament beam balance. एक चला गया तो पूरा system crash हो जाता है, then someone else has to take over. Effects and the duration I'll do last, which is always done last. Can I just finish PM? Sorry, Vice President. Article 63 says that there should be a VP in India. He is the second highest office of India. Who's the highest? Obviously the PM. Sorry, President. In the official warrant of precedence, this model was picked up from the American Vice President lines.
So the president is the first citizen of India. So is the vice president the second?
Second citizen. Yes. सब लोग फिर सब लोग equal. Qualifications: he shall be citizen of India, 35 years of age, and here please mark he should be eligible for Council of States, that is Rajya Sabha. President ka one of the, this was what? President ka one of the criteria taking you to that page was that he should be eligible for Lok Sabha. Vice President ka qualification, he shall be eligible for Rajya Sabha. And we write why. Why should he be eligible for Council of States? Because he is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Please write it down. Where we studied this in Civics Chapter 1 Parliament. Please copy that down. Why are we saying he should be eligible for Council of States? Because he's the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. So can they ask you this question application based? Yes. Can you mention one similarity and dissimilarity between president and vice president? Yes. Similarity is citizen, 35 years of age. Dissimilarity is president should be qualified for Lok Sabha. Vice president should be qualified for Rajya Sabha.
After she uses the post like 5 years so like at that time can she stand for vice president?
Yeah. Your next slide. Even for president, they said you can stand for re-elections as many times as you want. No, but usually, it's not possible. Give others a chance. Number one, the job is very hectic. Number two, once you finish your job, you don't want to come back. It's a possible. Nahi, it's a very hectic job, and rather the government says there are other eligible candidates also. A person shall not be eligible to hold office of VP if he is already holding a office of profit under the government or state government or local government or any said government. This was also repeated. Office of profit means government बोलता है सबको job मिलेगा but everybody can only get one job. The second job you cannot. Here also yes. वो syllabus में नहीं है सब. But बर्दा procedure वैसा ही है. The steps and all are the same. Electoral college also elects the vice president as well as the president. But president ka electoral college was what? Taking you to this page for reference because this is also a difference. President ka electoral college was here. Both the houses of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha elected members, SLAs, elected members of state legislative assemblies, Delhi and Puducherry. How many groups? Total 5 groups take part in president ka election, VP ka election. Please mark only the members of the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So can you give me two differences between president and vice president qualifications? Number one, he should be for president should be eligible for Lok Sabha, VP should be eligible for Rajya Sabha. Here, their electoral college is made up of 5 parts. That is the president ka, vice president ka electoral college is only made up of 2 parts. The remaining is the same. Everything happens by a single transferable vote under secret ballot. Here, 20 and 20 members and secretaries should be there. Either 50-50 था, either 20-20. ये लोग भी क्रिकेट ही खेलता है 50 over 20 over. Term of office, please mark very important star. His term of office is 5 years. Although he is the chairman of the Rajya Sabha का term कितना है? 6 years. But he is the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, that is he is the VP of India. VP gets a term of only 5 years. He may resign by giving his resignation to the president. President resigns by giving his resignation to the VP. VP gives it to the P. Please make a flowchart if you want. P to VP, VP to P. He may for violation be removed from his post called as impeachment. He shall continue to hold his office until his successor enters this. Please mark this. Again, the same point here, president gives his resignation to the VP. VP gives it to the P. Speaker of the Lok Sabha, the communication comes in through the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. The Lok Sabha Speaker will communicate and say that we have the president of the country has resigned or the VP has resigned. Powers repeated. He is the chairman. That is, he is the ex officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. In his capacity, he regulates the debates and discussions and the proceedings of the House. He decides the admissibility of a question. He may suspend or adjourn the business of the House in case of grave disorder. He issues various directions to the chairman of the other committees. The next two are separate questions in their own self. The vice president gets no salary as the vice president. Whatever he is paid in the capacity of the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. No office of profit rule. In case of absence, the deputy chairman takes over the functionings of the Rajya Sabha. Let me just finish this, then I'll answer your doubt. Taking over as president, he takes over the position of the president in case the president is lost his life due to death, resignation or removal of the president, or when the president is absent due to illness or any other cause. The last point is very important. In case of president's death, removal or resignation, the VP acts as the president and enters upon his office until the new president is elected. Unlike the VP of USA, who becomes the president for the remaining term, इंडिया में प्रमोशन नहीं मिलता है. इंडिया में you are VP, so you will stay VP. You got elected to VP, right? So you stay VP till a new president will come in for the remaining unexpired term. That's called as midterm elections, if you remember last year's study. In US, ऐसा नहीं होता है. VP will become president. Ask and comes for duration, and yes, you can ask your doubt. Okay, durations and effects, please understand. They're a little number based, so you'll have to understand the numbers. Duration. First one, every proclamation of emergency must be approved by, please mark number one, both the houses of the parliament. The Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha both should say yes. Can they take forever to say yes? No. Within 1 month. Within 1 month, if the bill for emergency has been announced or if the emergency ka paperwork has been announced, both the houses have to fast track it and do it in 1 month. Either emergency is there or not. By a special majority. Please mark what is special majority. That is majority of total membership of the house and 2/3 present and voting. So 1 month में either you approve it or you cancel it. Paperwork चालू किया तो 1 month में you have to do yes or it's an emergency. You can't take forever. It remains in operation. It cannot remain in operation for more than 6 months. Please mark more than 6 months. At the end of 6 months, it has to be renewed again. Or 6 महीने में you have to renew it. If you don't renew it, emergency is announced to be cancelled. At the end of 6 months, it must be renewed by a special majority, otherwise it lapses. If the Lok Sabha passes a resolution disapproving the emergency, then the president has to cancel the program. In the middle of any time ongoing, Lok Sabha says, okay, emergency is over, we have control back. Then the president signs the papers and revokes the emergency. Revokes matlab cancels or recalls the emergency. Confirm? ये ज्यादा डिफिकल्ट नहीं था, ये तो बहुत सिंपल था. 1 month, 6 months, 6 months, every 6 months you have to renew. Can I go ahead? Effects कर लो. Now a little good news, certain schools will cancel effects. So if your school cancel effects, you are very nice. Otherwise you have to do it. नहीं, अगर स्कूल ने कैंसिल किया तो नहीं. बोर्ड ने इफेक्ट्स दिया ही नहीं. The most important effect of general emergency is fundamental rights are partially or wholly suspended. Your fundamental rights are suspended. Please confirm your fundamental rights are suspended. Confirm number 1. Are we clear? Even the right to move to court or state high court is suspended. You cannot go to court. You cannot go to court. That's why during that phase of 6 years where we were under emergency, 62 tha, 62, 60, 62 to 68, those time pe these conditions were there. And that's why when Indira Gandhi put under emergency for 21 months, those time pe bhi the rights are taken away. Common sense, rights are suspended. Countries under emergency. When I want to do a birthday party on the terrace with loud music, allowed hai? Not allowed. Your right to move, your right to speech, everything is partially or wholly suspended. Except Article 20 and 21. Article 20 says common sense. Number 3, no person shall be punished for the same offense more than once. You cannot punish the same person for the same offense more than once. Yes, very good. Right. एक punishment का दो एक crime का दो punishment वापस नहीं मिल सकता. And Article 21 very important. No person shall deprive another person of his liberty and life. No person shall be deprived of his life or liberty except according to the procedure established by law. अब बोलो. That's not the same crime. That's not the same crime. That's two different. I'll give you an example, very simple example. This happened with my friend in lockdown. उस टाइम पे एकदम कोर लॉकडाउन चालू था. So you were not allowed to go out anywhere. But unfortunately, he got a call at night कि we need medicines from one house to another. Emergency है, you have to bring medicine. तो lockdown चालू था, बाहर जाना तो allowed नहीं था. So he had to break the lockdown. He had to go down, take the car out from one part of Bombay to another part of Bombay. He had to drive. तो उसमें उसको पुलिस ने पकड़ लिया. बोला you are breaking rules. उसने बोला मेरा situation बहुत emergency वाला है. If I don't need the medicine, things can go very bad. So the police ने बोला ठीक है, I'll allow you to go. चालान काटा और फाइन भरवाया. इमरजेंसी का वो टिकट दिया और उसको जाने. उसने बोला show this चालान wherever you go ahead because you are going and going to come back home. Each time a police officer will catch you, each time he will fine you. Wow. Right? So that time you have to show the chalan. I have already paid for this crime. I have already paid for this punishment. Till I go home, this punishment is one category. मतलब घूम के मैं वापस जाऊंगा तो भी I don't have to pay. At every signal I don't have to pay for the same punishment. But the next officer doesn't know that you've already paid for this punishment. That's what they say, that no person should be punished for the same crime more than once. उसने एक रूल तोड़ा, उसका punishment बनी.
तो basic तो भी तोड़ते हैं rules के लिए
अरे
order होने के लिए
और उसके लिए भी है, मैंने तुमको सिंपल दिया है.
एक बार वर्ड कर दो बार प्रश्न नहीं होता है एक बार.
order भी
तो दूसरा हो गया ना. नेक्स्ट वन, फाइनेंस. The center is empowered to suspend the financial provisions of the constitution. Next one, finance. Effects. Point number 5. The central government is empowered to suspend the financial provisions of the constitution, such as matters such as distribution of revenues between center and state, salaries of MP and so on can be altered. Please mark 5 and 6. When emergency is on, the state government cannot ask from the central government, give me money. Not allowed. And lastly, that is the center and state ka ministers ka salary also can get altered. Next one, number 7 is repeated. Union and state legislatures, during emergency, the term of the Lok Sabha can be extended 1 year at a time. The same rule applies for state legislature, 1 year at a time. This you did in Parliament chapter also. Number 8, the country has to forego its federal spirit as the states are now obliged to carry out the instructions given by the center. Okay. We said the union and center, state and center are equal. They both get their powers from the parliament. Now we say they are not equal. Center becomes more powerful and state becomes less powerful. For until the emergency is on. Because you have to work as one body with one head. There's a body here. One body with one head. Everybody can't do their own thing under emergency. And the last point, the government will be under the complete control of the union government or union executive, working as a one that is unitary system. Just I told you, one body, one head. Can't have different hands working differently. You have to work as one unit. Moving to duration of फाइनेंशियल इमरजेंसी, इसका ड्यूरेशन थोड़ा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है. इसका ड्यूरेशन थोड़ा कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है. Look here, such a proclamation, that is such an order, has to be laid before both the houses of the parliament. Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha said, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha both should say yes. And is valid for 2 months. Please mark number 2 is valid for 2 months. Until it is approved by resolutions of both the houses of the parliament. यहाँ पर ये फ्लो चार्ट बना दो. You are proclaiming an emergency. Within 2 months, you have to approve it. So you have put a resolution regarding financial emergency to be declared. You can't just come out and say, oh shit, country is under financial emergency. We are under financial distress. No. You have to put a resolution. Within 2 months, both the houses have to approve it. Yes or no? Within 2 months, both the houses have to approve the financial emergency. If the financial emergency gets approved, what happens to the Lok Sabha? The Lok Sabha gets dissolved. Lok Sabha gets dissolved under what? No confidence motion. Bola government was not able to handle its finances, so you are removing the no confidence motion, and the Lok Sabha is dissolved. Financial emergency. If you say yes to the financial emergency within 2 months, then the Lok Sabha has to be dissolved, because Lok Sabha was the one who was responsible for all money bills, right? All the budgets are from the Lok Sabha. Matlab government ne acha kaam. So you have to dissolve them. So now you have understood financial emergency by default comes with a no confidence motion. I repeat it once more. Financial emergency by default comes with a no confidence motion. So here, point number 3. If the Lok Sabha is dissolved by the no confidence motion, if the Lok Sabha is dissolved when such a proclamation is meant, a resolution supporting is passed by the Rajya Sabha. Now this proclamation will on go for as much as time. The proclamation will cease to exist at the expiry of 30 days from the time when the new Lok Sabha comes in. Please see this. ये emergency चलते ही जाएगा. ये emergency चलते ही जाएगा. And as soon as the new Lok Sabha comes in, within 30 days, this will come to an end. ये end लिखा है, END लिखा है. If you remember the powers of the Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, sole de facto, de jure parliament. That is when Lok Sabha is gone, Rajya Sabha takes over complete control, will try to normalize the situation, will try to announce a financial commission, whatever. It will try to get a hold of the situation. And when the new Lok Sabha comes, within 30 days, financial emergency is lifted. तो इसमें 4 पार्ट है. Proclamation 2 months, Lok Sabha dissolving, ongoing, new Lok Sabha coming, then 30 days when it comes to an end. Effects are more or less small. The first one, all money bills are passed by the Lok Sabha. Repeated. All money bills are passed by the Lok Sabha. Repeated. The second one, appointment of financial commission. The president may appoint a financial commission to get you out of such crisis. The commission will recommend measures to come out of such crisis. ये पैसा वापस कैसे आवे country. Next one, reduce the salaries. The president can reduce the salaries and allowances of all classes of government people, including judges of the Supreme Court and High Court. This is a repeated point. And the president can issue instructions in regard to the states also, with respect to how they should use their funds. Center बोलेगा country के पास पैसा नहीं है. State, I will use your money also. So I'm giving you instructions on how to use your money. Last one, duration of state emergency. The duration of state emergency is approved again. The duration of state emergency is 2 months. So you announce a state emergency. If it was to continue beyond 2 months, then it has to get approved by the parliament. If the conditions are not looking good, you can put a state under emergency for 2 months. If you want to go more than 2 months, then you have to get it approved by the parliament. तो पहले क्या हुआ था? Here I don't think flow chart है. First 2 months, then first proclaim for first, what does it say? First announcement के बाद 2 months. If you want to go more than 2 months, then it goes to 6 months. The proclamation will last for 6 months. Point number 3. पहला 2 महीना, फिर again 6 months. It can, however, be extended for another 6 months. So please write another 6 months. So first 2, then 6, then another 6. So you get basically 3 rounds. 2 plus 6 plus 6. The president's rule can normally continue for 1 year as mentioned. 2 plus 6 plus 6. If it is have to go beyond 1 year, then these two conditions are very important to happen. If you want to go beyond 1 year, then the proclamation should be when a proclamation of emergency is in operation in whole of India or any part of the state. So, हमारा state emergency चालू है and a national emergency is announced. Then what you can do? Nothing. The election commission certifies that holding elections in that particular state is very difficult. After 1 year also, after 1 year of emergency, also things have not settled down. It's not possible to do elections. Khatra hai. There can be physical or violent this breakout. That is, there can be riots. In that case, the election commission says we will not do any kind of emergency, or we will not do any kind of election. However, no emergency in a state can go on for, please mark final point, more than 3 years, whether you like it or not. 3 साल में the problem has to get solved, cannot go more than 3 years. Effects. The state administration is directly under the president. The state administration is directly under the president. The governor of the state acts in accordance with the instructions got from the union government from time to time. Please write there who gives him instructions. The president on advice of the PM. Consolidated fund. When the Lok Sabha is not in session, the president may authorize expenditure from the consolidated fund of the state. Consolidated fund of the state means savings of the state. अगर स्टेट के पास पैसा नहीं है तो स्टेट का सेविंग्स यूज किया जा सकता है. If the state doesn't have money, you can use the savings of the state. That is the third one. The fourth one is this one. The president may suspend the provisions of the constitution in the state except relating to high court. The president can suspend everything in the state but cannot touch the judiciary. The president may suspend the provisions of the constitution relating to any authority except the judiciary, that is high court. The Vidhan Sabha, that is the council of ministers, the president may dissolve them. Please circle the word dissolve. Vidhan Sabha, you are dissolved. Bye. State legislature, you are dissolved completely. Or number 2, you are kept in suspended animation. In both the cases, the central government or the central parliament laws start to prevail in the matters of the state list, including the matter called as the annual budget of the state is passed by the parliament. See, here they have not used the word president now. They've used the word parliament because the president works on the advice of the parliament. That is advice of PM plus CM. तो कहीं ना कहीं उन्होंने सच बोल ही दिया कि advice they work on the advice of the parliament. That is PM and the CM council. Please copy this down. Please check from your respective school if you have the effects. Effects are very unlikely. जाओ करेगा
World War
वर्ल्ड वॉर 1